human rights to live properly to their own people, but now they are also trying to intervene in the livings in, say, in Hong Kong and Taiwan also. The point I am raising is that living peacefully is a human right and it should not be violated anywhere, anytime in the world. The other right I add to it is the right to food. But probably this right to food is not there in the list of human rights by United Nations. I think the right to food is important, given the fact that there is poverty, there is hunger in the world. If you look at some of the data I had here with me, say I have few figures here for 7 subgroup of the countries, say East Asia, Europe, Latin America and Caribbean, Middle East, North America, South Asia, and Sub-Saharan Africa. You will see that here around 40% of the population is below poverty line in Sub-Saharan Africa. Whereas in the South Asia, in the number 2, South Asia is 19.5% of the population below the poverty line. It means they are suffering from malnutrition, they are suffering from hunger. The lowest figure here I can see the Europe and Central Asia is 1%. North America is also is 0.9%. The point I am making is that poverty is still there, hunger is still there. So basically, because we don't recognize the right to food, and in my view, the right to food is quite an important aspect of human rights. Another one which I will talk about is the human rights to work, to live with dignity and to avoid unemployment and poverty. If everybody has the work, then there won't be any unemployment and there will be no poverty. If we want to live with dignity, work has to be there for people. When we form a government, basically we are expecting that, well, we are giving the right to governors. In return, we want the right to work, that there must be some work, but that's not happening everywhere. That's happening in few countries where unemployment rate is very low, but there are countries where unemployment rate is very high. So that is the right to work has to be respected. Another is the human rights to education. That is, everybody has a right to get at least the basic education. So that is to write, read and write. Now, if you look at some of the data here for these countries, now even the primary school dropout percentages are about 39% in Sub-Saharan Africa. That is, they are not able to, this percentage, those who are in the primary school, they are not able to cross the primary school. That's the inequality here in the world. East Asia it is 2%, in South Asia it is 13.7%. Again, if you look at the years of schooling, there are also lots of differences across the world. Because the right to education, though it is recognized and discussed a lot, but still there are disparities in achieving education throughout the world. Now, the other right I will be talking to you is the right to equality between men and women. Still, you can see there are differences in the achievements by men and women. Say, one of the very obvious is parliament system, the representation by females is much lower than men in the parliament. This is obvious differences between male and male, which is what
मी काय करतो तयार करून ठेवतो आणि झालं तर तुम्हाला फोन करतो. हा नाही होत, आम्ही आहोत 3 वाजेपर्यंत. आम्ही आहोतच का 3 वाजेपर्यंत आम्ही इथं आहोत.
Hello, are you listening? Hello.
जी sir, continue.
Okay. There was some noise. I thought there is some disturbance. Now these human rights are boundaryless. That is, there is no discrimination based on religion, caste, region, and country. That is, these human rights should be universal. There should not be any difference or discrimination based on religion or caste and region or the country. The last one I will talk about is the right to freedom. Now there are some figures around about the political and civil rights, which are meant for ensuring certain freedom to citizens in a country. Let me have a look at these rights. So if you look at the political rights, these rights again are for the same broad categories of the countries, and they are on a scale of 1 to 7. One is that the political or civil rights are sound in the country, and 7 means they are the worst political rights, and 1 means they are the best on the scale. So if you look at the data, some of the data, I will say in East Asia and Pacific, political rights figure is 5.68 and civil rights are 5.13. In South Asia, it is 2.71, 3.51, and the worst is in the Middle East and the North Africa. In that group of countries, political rights are 5.8 on a scale of 1 to 7, and the civil rights are 5.79. The point here I'm making is that though we talk about the freedom, that equal freedom to everybody, but there do exist differences in the right to freedom in terms of political rights and civil liberties. Okay. I will make one final remarks here about the duties. If you want to enjoy human rights, it is our duty not to deprive any person from enjoying human rights of freedom and equality. If we want governments to protect our human rights, we should provide taxes to states with honesty, use our voting rights without any pressure, and be duty conscious rather than the right conscious, or be both right conscious as well as the duty conscious. I think I'll finish with these remarks, and if you have any questions, I'm quite happy to respond to it. Thank you so much.
आवाज आ रही है? हेलो,
यस सर।
ये आ रही है सर, आ रही है।
सुनो, ये जोड़ो। धन्यवाद सर। सतपाल सर धन्यवाद। बहुत शॉर्ट नोटिस पे सर बड़ी तथ्यात्मक जानकारी दी आपने। विभिन्न डाटा परख जानकारी के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मैं पुनः उस चीज को दोहराना चाहूंगा कि ये आयोजन हम 10 तारीख को मनाते थे, लेकिन अचानक मस्तिष्क में ये आया कि 9 तारीख को क्यों न इसको शुरू करें। तो हमारे जो रिसोर्स पर्सन हैं उनको भी हम बहुत कम समय दे पाए, लेकिन जितना कम समय दे पाए शायद उतनी ज्यादा गहराई से उन्होंने हमें अभिभूत किया, हमें झकझोरा, हमारा ज्ञानार्जन किया। सत्यपाल सर पुनः धन्यवाद। भविष्य में पुनः ये अपेक्षा रहेगी कि कभी भी आपको परेशान करें सर इस तरह के बौद्धिक शोषण के लिए। धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत आभार आपका। अब सर बिना औपचारिकता के और आज के इस अंतरराष्ट्रीय सेमिनार और संगोष्ठी के वक्ता, प्रसिद्ध समाजशास्त्री, मेरे सहयोगी और कवियत्री के रूप में भी जिनका एक और फन है, एक और टेस्ट है जिसको मैं बहुत देर से जाना, वो कानूनन जानकारी भी आपको उपलब्ध कराएंगे मानवाधिकार की, और उसको साहित्य में बांधने का प्रयास भी करेंगी, ऐसा मुझे लगता है। और मैं एक बात और स्पष्ट कर दूं कि कई रिसोर्स पर्सन से जुड़ने का मेरा एक माध्यम मैडम अंजू बेनीवाल भी बनी और उन्होंने मुझे वो डिटेल्स उपलब्ध कराई। मैं स्वागत करता हूं उनका, बहुत बहुत आभार। और मैम को आमंत्रित करता हूं कि आप हम लोगों का ज्ञानार्जन करें। मैडम अभी पूर्णतः स्वस्थ नहीं हैं, बीमार हैं, लेकिन फिर भी मानसिक रूप से वो उतनी मजबूत हैं, स्वस्थ हैं, और उन्होंने बहुत कम समय के इस निमंत्रण को स्वीकारा और वो आपके बीच हैं। तो उनकी सुविधा से, उनकी अनुकूलता के अनुसार वो अब जुड़ने के बाद जब तक बोलेंगी, स्वागत है। धन्यवाद। थैंक यू मैम।
Thank you, sir. Am I audible?
बिल्कुल, यस मैम।
Thank you, Cecile sir, for giving me this opportunity. And I would like to congratulate the Department of Sociology and Red Ribbon Club and National Service Scheme, Government College Ratangad, for organizing this 2 days international e-conference on human rights, our duties and rights. It's really a wonderful program you are organizing, and I would like to say good morning to our eminent speakers like Dr. Our Honorable Justice Rajesh Tandon sir, Shri Brajendra Singh sir, Professor Satyapal sir, and Rakesh Rana sir. I have heard all the eminent speakers and they spoke so well, and I thought there's nothing left, but I would like to conclude my views in few words like human rights can be generally defined as those rights which are inherent in our nature, without which we cannot live as human beings. Human rights and fundamental freedom allows us to fully develop and use our human qualities and intelligence, our talents, and our conscience to satisfy our spiritual and other needs. They are based on mankind's increasing demand for a life in which the inherent dignity and the worth of each human being will receive respect and protection. Human rights are sometimes called fundamental rights or basic rights or natural rights. As fundamental or basic rights, they are those which must not be taken away by any legislature or any act of government, and which are often set out in a constitution. As natural rights, they are seen as belonging to men and women by their very nature. Another way to describe them would be to call them common rights, for they are rights which all men and women in the world country. Human rights are not created by any legislation. They assume the position of nature. Rights any civilized country to body like the UN must recognize them. They cannot be subjected to the process of amendment even. The legal duty to protect human rights included the legal duty to respect them. Members of the UN have committed themselves to promote respect for the observance of human rights and fundamental freedom. International concern with human rights as enshrined in the United Nations Charter, not a modern innovation. Human rights are therefore those rights which belongs to an individuals, a consequence of human being. They are based on elementary human needs. as imperatives. Some of these human needs are elemental for sheer physical survival and health. Others are elemental for physical survival and health, as human rights can be perceived and enumerated. These rights are associated with the traditional concept of natural law. Rights being immunities denote that there is a guarantee that certain things cannot or ought not to be done to a person against his will. According to this concept, human beings, by virtue of their humanity, ought to be protected against unjust and degrading treatment. In other words, individual can seek human rights only in an organized community, that is a state or in them or in a state or anarchy where there is hardly any just power to which a citizen can appeal against the isolation of rights. Thus, the principle of the protection of human rights is derived from the concept of man as a person and his relationship with an organized society, which cannot be separated from universal human nature. Human rights being essential for all around development of the personality of the individual in the society and be necessarily protected and be made available to all the individual. They must be preserved, cherished, and defended if peace and prosperity are to be achieved. Human rights are very essence of meaningful life, and to maintain human dignity is the because of inevitable increase in the control over of man's action by the governments, which by no means can be regarded as described. There are several states where fundamental standards of human behavior are not observed. The consciousness on the part of the human beings as to their rights are also necessitated the protection by the states. It has been realized that the functions of all the laws, whether they are the rules of the municipal law or that of functional law, should be protect them in the interest of the humanity. So humanity part is the most important part of this human rights. One of the achievements of the contemporary international law is to recognize human dignity and honor. The individual has come of age in international law. It has been also realized that the international protection of the individual against the state should no longer be entrusted to the state as his guardian and litem. This is clearly reflected from a number of conventions of varying scope which have been adopted under the auspices of the United Nations organization in the last 6 decades or so. A number of declarations adopted by the United Nations and its specialized agencies also go to prove that their members have pledged themselves to achieve the promotion of universal respect for the observance of human rights and fundamental freedoms. States themselves are conscious of the rights of the human beings. They are, in order to protect the rights, have made reasonable arrangements by making conventions. On national level too, they have taken measures to protect the rights of the individuals by incorporating the provisions relating to their constitutions. Non-governmental organizations, NGOs, we can say, on national or regional or international level are also devoted in bringing the cases of violations of human rights in the limelight and finding out ways and means to prevent their occurrence. Presently, there is a widespread acceptance of the importance of human rights in the international structure because it has legal move and political bearing. Human rights are legal because it involves the implementation of rights and obligations sanctioned in the international relatives. It is moral because human rights are a value-based system to preserve human dignity, and it is political in the larger sense of the word. They also operate to the limit the power of governments over individuals. However, one will not hesitate to admit that there is a confusion prevailing as to its precise nature and scope and the mode of international law as to protection of these rights. When we are talking about the nature of human rights, it is little bit confusing that human rights are derived from the principle of natural law. They are neither derived from the social order nor conferred upon the individual by the society. They reside inherently in the individual human being, independent of and even prior to his participation in the society. Consequently, they are the result of recognizing by the state, but they are logically dependent of the legal system of their existence. Their origin may be sought in the natural law and not in the positive law. They are based on their intrinsic justification, not on their enactment or recognition by certain individuals. They do not depend on any formulation or accepted authority. To conclude, it may be said that there are positive legal system which does not recognize human rights is not a law. The idea that the individual has right claims upon society or against society, that these rights which society may recognize on which it is obliged to act or intrinsic to human rights. The human rights are inalienable. Human person possesses rights because of the very fact that there is a person, a whole, master of itself and of its acts. By natural law, the human person has the right to be respected, is the subject of rights, possesses rights. These are the things which are ought to a man because of the very fact that he is a man. Human rights are the rights that a human being has in virtue of whatever characteristics he has, that are both specifically and universally human. If the only relevant condition for enjoying certain rights is being human, and if this property does not admit of degrees, there cannot be differences of degree in any extent to which the rights in question are held. This is all. All human beings have them to the same degree. A question arises as to whether human rights are legal rights. It may be noted that legal right is a right which is recognized and protected by the legal system. Legal rights have two important essential elements, that is, firstly, the holder of the right, and secondly, the person bound by the duty. Only legal persons can be bounded by the duties or be the holder of the legal rights. Person can be bounded by duties or be the holder of legal rights. Every right therefore involves a relationship between two or more legal persons. Rights and duties are correlative. That is, a person cannot have a right without a corresponding duty. As Paul sir said, without duties we cannot we don't have right to possess we can't possess rights without duties. So firstly we have to possess duties, then we have right to possess rights. Declaration of the Human Rights Defenders, adopted by the General Assembly on December 1998, laid down by under Article 2, Para 1, that each state has the prime responsibility and duty to protect, promote, and implement of all human rights by adopting necessary measures. And further, International Convent on Economic and Social and Cultural Rights, adopted in 1966, stipulated in the preamble as the obligation of a state to promote universal respect for and observance of human rights and freedoms. When we are talking about the kinds of human rights, there are several human rights. Human rights are indivisible and interdependent, and therefore precisely there cannot be different kinds of human rights. All human rights are equal in importance and are inherent in all human beings. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights therefore did not recognize the different kinds of human rights, it simply enumerated them in different articles. However, the subsequent developments made in the human rights field under the United Nations system make it clear that human rights are of two kinds: civil and political rights, economic, social, and cultural rights. Civil rights or liberties are referred to those rights which are related to the protection of right to life and personal liberty. They are essential for a person so that he may live a dignified life. Such rights include right to life, liberty, and security of persons, right to privacy, your home and correspondence, right to own property, freedom from torture, home and correspondence, inhuman and degrading treatment, freedom of true conscience and religion, and freedom of movement. Political rights may be referred to those rights which allow a person to participate in the government of a state. Thus, right to vote, right to be elected at genuine periodic elections, right to take part in the conduct of public affairs directly or through chosen representatives are instances of political rights. The nature of civil and political rights may be different, but they are interrelated and interwoven, and therefore it does not appear logical difference between these two. This reason alone led to the formulation of the covenant covering of both civil and political rights into one covenant, international covenant or civil and political rights. These rights are the rights of the first generation, which derived primarily from the 17th and 18th century reformist theories which are associated within the English, American, and French revolutions. civil and political rights, also sometimes called freedom form, are the rights which may be termed as the negative rights in the sense that our government is required to abstain from doing those activities that would violate them. Specifically, these rights protect citizens from acts of murder, torture, cruel and unusual punishment, ex post facto legislation, the denial of habeas corpus, and imprisonment within due legal process. Notable point in these rights is that they are capable of immediate and full realization without significant costs being incurred. So, when we are talking about the human rights and human duties, we can say these are the two faces of same coin. जब हम duties की बात, rights की बात करते हैं, तो it's our primary duty. We have to, we know about our duties. Without duties, there is no possibility of rights. जब हम ये बात करते हैं कि मानव अधिकार दिवस जब मनाते हैं तो उसमें हम बार बार ये चीज़ बताने की कोशिश करते हैं कि ये मानव के अधिकार है, चूंकि लोगों में इन अधिकारों के प्रति चेतना नहीं है, जागरूकता नहीं है। शायद लोगों में चेतना जागरूकता लाने के लिए या उनके अस्तित्व की लड़ाई के लिए हम हमेशा उन्हें और ज़्यादा मोटिवेट करने की कोशिश करते हैं। इस सब काम के अंदर मीडिया जो होता है उसका बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट रोल होता है। आज हम ई कॉन्फ्रेंस के द्वारा ये चीज़ बताने की कोशिश करते हैं कि कर रहे हैं कि व्हाट आर आवर राइट्स एंड व्हाट आर आवर ड्यूटीज, क्योंकि हम देखते हैं कि बेसिकली ह्यूमन बीइंग्स अपने राइट्स को लेकर बहुत ज़्यादा ये होता है कि हमारे ये राइट्स हैं, इस सड़क पर मेरा हक है तो हम इस सड़क पे कहीं भी चलेंगे। लेकिन हम ये भूल जाते हैं कि हम जब अपनी राइट की बात करते हैं तो दूसरे व्यक्ति का भी उतना ही अधिकार है, तो हमें दूसरे व्यक्ति के अधिकार की भी ध्यान में रखते हुए अपने अधिकारों की बात की जानी चाहिए। आज देश के अंदर जितने भी क्राइम हो रहे हैं, चाहे वो दिल्ली के अंदर घटित निर्भया कांड हो या ऐसे बहुत सारे कांड है जिसको कि मीडिया लोगों के सामने लाता है, लोगों को बताता है कि ये गलत है, इसके खिलाफ आवाज उठाई जानी चाहिए, और फिर से लोग जो है वो एकजुट होते हैं, उसके खिलाफ आवाज उठाते हैं और उसके बाद बहुत सारे संशोधन भी हम देखने को, उसके द्वारा बहुत सारे संशोधन भी होते हैं। तो इस तरह से लोगों के अंदर एक अवेयरनेस जो है वो लाना बहुत ही जरूरी होता है। नॉट ओनली दीज इश्यूज, हम आज कल कुछ दिनों पहले एक न्यूज़पेपर में भी खबर थी कि कुछ एक निम्न जाति के व्यक्ति को नीचे उतार दिया गया और उसके साथ में अच्छा सलूक नहीं किया गया। तो आज जब हम इस लेवल पे पहुंच चुके हैं कि हम अपने आप को एक एजुकेटेड सोसाइटी के अंदर करते हैं, तो उसके बाद हमें ये होता है कि हम किसी भी व्यक्ति को जिसको कि अपने जीने का पूरा अधिकार है, उस व्यक्ति से उसके जीवन का जीने का अधिकार छीनने का अधिकार हमें नहीं है। चाहे बहुत सारे इंसिडेंट्स हो, चाहे वो जसिकालाल कांड हो या मधुमिता हत्याकांड हो या बहुत सारे जैसे कि खाप पंचायत के जो निर्णय लिए जाते हैं उसके विरुद्ध भी आवाज उठाई जाती है। बेसिकली ह्यूमन राइट्स दो वर्ड से मिलकर बना ह्यूमन एंड राइट्स। वी ऑल आर ह्यूमन बीइंग्स एंड वी ऑल आर possessing some rights regarding living life in a very respected manner. So हर व्यक्ति को एक रेस्पेक्टेड मैनर से एक रेस्पेक्टफुल लाइफ जीने का अधिकार है, और उस रेस्पेक्टफुल लाइफ को जीने के लिए, उस अधिकारों को प्राप्त करने के लिए ये भी जरूरी है कि वो अपने कर्तव्यों का निर्वहन बहुत अच्छे से करें। तो हम जब लोगों को अधिकारों की बात बताते हैं, उनके अधिकारों के बारे में उनको गाइड करते हैं, तो हमें ये भी बताना चाहिए कि एज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग, इफ यू वांट पीस इन सोसाइटी, if you want to develop your society, what you have to do? You have to first follow the duties. Rights से पहले आप अपनी duties का भी आपको knowledge होना चाहिए, उनका ज्ञान होना चाहिए। Thank you so much sir for giving me this opportunity. अभी राकेश राणा सर ने एक हैप्पीनेस इंडेक्स की बात की थी, एक हंगर इंडेक्स की भी बात की थी, और उन्होंने कहा था कि आंदोलन किया जाता है, असंतोष होता है सोसाइटी के अंदर जब इस तरह की घटनाएं हमारे समाज के अंदर होती है। तो मुझे लगता है कि आंदोलन और असंतोष इज नॉट द सॉल्यूशन फॉर दिस टाइप ऑफ इवेंट्स। अगर ऐसा कुछ होता है तो हमें बहुत ही सोच समझ कर इस तरह के इवेंट्स को हैंडल करना चाहिए, बिकॉज हमें ये पता होना चाहिए कि जब बच्चा स्टार्टिंग फेज के अंदर होता है, हम मॉरल एजुकेशन की बात करते हैं, तो उसके साथ साथ हमें ह्यूमन राइट्स की बात भी करनी चाहिए। बच्चों को ह्यूमन राइट्स की भी नॉलेज दी जानी चाहिए और उसके साथ साथ उसे उसकी ड्यूटीज से भी अवगत कराया जाना चाहिए। शुरू से हम बच्चों को ये बता कर रखें कि अगर जैसा कि सर ने कहा था कि इफ यू वांट टू लिव हैप्पीली व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, आप आपको अपने आसपास के लोगों को खुश रखना है, और वो तभी रख सकते हैं जब आप उनकी ड्यूटीज की भी, उनके जो राइट्स हैं उनको भी आप प्रिजर्व करेंगे, उनके राइट्स को भी आप वैल्यू करेंगे. थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गिविंग मी दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी, एंड थैंक्स टू ऑल द वैल्यूएबल पार्टिसिपेंट्स जिन्होंने मुझे इतने अच्छे से सुना.
धन्यवाद मैम, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका. बड़े ही तार्किक तरीके से, रोचक तरीके से, समाजशास्त्रीय परिप्रेक्ष्य में आपने आज के इस वेबिनार को व्याख्यात किया. अब मैं इस वेबिनार के
Sir, sorry to interrupt you.
जी, ma'am.
As you have told me, I have write one poem on this specific topic.
Yeah.
About me,
Ma'am.
I can recite.
हाँ मैम, मैं बीच में थोड़ी देर के लिए मैं कहीं अलग था तो मुझे लगा कि कहीं आप बिल्कुल मैम, एक नहीं दो. जैसा कि मैंने पहले ही कहा था कि मैम को दूसरी चीज से भी जोड़ना है. एक उनका साहित्यिक रूप अपना अलग है, तो वो इस मानवाधिकार को साहित्य की दृष्टि से और काव्य में कैसे सजोती है. प्लीज वेलकम मैम, प्लीज.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच. एक्चुअली सुशील सर ने कल ही मुझे कहा कि आपको इस विषय पर भी एक कविता लिखनी है. मैं जनरल इश्यूज पे लिखती हूँ, लेकिन मानवाधिकार विषय पे मैंने पहली बार कविता लिखी है, एंड ये मेरी मॉर्निंग का क्रिएशन है जो मैंने बैठकर लिखा. होप आप लोगों को पसंद आएगा. मेरी कविता का शीर्षक है मानव अधिकार, क्योंकि मानवाधिकार पर है इसलिए मानव अधिकार. पंछी है हम सभी, पंछी है हम सभी, सबका है ये खुला आसमान. पंछी है हम सभी, सबका है ये खुला आसमान. आजादी है हम सबको, आजादी है हम सबको, यहाँ भरने की ऊंची उड़ान. आजादी है हम सबको, यहाँ भरने की ऊंची उड़ान. निज अस्मिता, निज अस्मिता, निज अस्तित्व का है ये संग्राम. निज अस्मिता, निज अस्तित्व का है ये संग्राम. हिंसा भेदभाव के होते हैं सदैव ही घातक परिणाम. हिंसा भेदभाव के होते हैं सदैव ही घातक परिणाम. अपने साथ दूसरों के अधिकारों का भी रखना होगा ध्यान. अपने साथ दूसरों के अधिकारों का भी रखना होगा ध्यान. अधिकारों का हो जहां हनन, अधिकारों का हो जहां हनन, लेना होगा उचित संज्ञान. अधिकारों का हो जहां हनन, लेना होगा उचित संज्ञान. मौलिक अधिकार एवं स्वतंत्रता का हो सबको ज्ञान. मौलिक अधिकार एवं स्वतंत्रता का हो सबको ज्ञान. अपनी सभ्यता और संस्कृति का सदैव बढ़ाए हम मान. अपनी सभ्यता और संस्कृति का सदैव बढ़ाए हम सम्मान. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, जैसा कि सर ने कहा था. न हो जाति, न हो जाति, रंग, भाषा और धर्म के नाम पर अपमान. न हो जाति, रंग, भाषा और धर्म के नाम पर अपमान. सबको है मिला यहाँ जीवन जीने का अधिकार समान. सबको है मिला यहाँ जीवन जीने का अधिकार समान. मिटाना होगा दुनिया से ईर्ष्या, द्वेष और अज्ञान. मिटाना होगा दुनिया से ईर्ष्या, द्वेष और अज्ञान. तभी बन पाएगा हमारे सपनों का हसीन जहान. अधिकारों के साथ जो हमें अपने, जो हो हमें अपने कर्तव्यों का भी भान. अधिकारों के साथ जो हो हमें अपने कर्तव्यों का भी भान. तो खुशहाल होगी जमीन और जीवन होगा आसान. तो खुशहाल होगी जमीन और जीवन होगा आसान. थैंक यू.
हाँ, थैंक यू मैम. बहुत सुंदर रचित कविता, और संभवतः हम सब इसलिए भी भाग्यशाली हैं कि आपकी लेखनी चलने के बाद सबसे पहले ये हमारे कानों तक पड़ी. इस वीक में शायद ये रचना के बाद सबसे पहले सुनने वाले भाग्यशाली श्रोता हम ही हैं. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैम आपको, पुनः धन्यवाद. कल 11 बजे हम लोग फिर मिलेंगे इसी प्लेटफॉर्म पे. उससे पहले औपचारिक समापन से पहले मैं सेमिनार और इस संगोष्ठी के कन्वीनर प्रोफेसर A.P. गुप्ता को आमंत्रित करूंगा कि वो शाब्दिक धन्यवाद ज्ञापित करें आप सबका.
Good afternoon, everyone, to the one and all present here. Honorable Chief Guest, former Justice Mr. Rajesh Tandon, respected SDM of Ratangarh Mr. Vijendra Singh, and all eminent speakers, for Professor Satpal from Australia, Dr. Anju Beniwal, Assistant Professor and Poetess, and Dr. Rakesh Rana, President of YSSA from India. It is such an honor for me to get the opportunity to thank you all dignitaries on the behalf of Department of Sociology, Red Ribbon Club and NSS, Government College Ratangad. I extend a warm welcome to the people in the gathering. I would like to express my gratitude to all esteemed delegates of the webinar for their presence and contribution to make this webinar on Manavadkar a great success. A special thanks to our patron and principal of our college, Professor K.S. Charan Sahib, for providing immense support to make the webinar successful. Last but not least, I extend my gratitude to my colleague, Dr. Sushil Tyagi ji, organizing secretary, to organize this webinar in amidst the pandemic. Thank you for all inspiring and encouraging us with your valuable words on human rights. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow at 11:11 a.m. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
कल एक फीडबैक फॉर्म भी भेजा जाएगा. सभी पार्टिसिपेंट से निवेदन है कि वो इस फीडबैक फॉर्म को अवश्य भरें. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. Satyapal sir, good morning.
How are you?
Great seeing you.
Not bad. Yeah. So, saw your face up
Yeah.
couple of months. I will say.